So here's the big idea. This is a soul-searching question that I want to ask all of us today. How can we call ourselves people of faith when we don't do anything that requires faith? How can you call yourself a person of faith when you never do anything that requires any faith? When you never do anything that actually requires you to step out in faith and to trust God? Isn't that just seems opposite of what is actually true? We need to ask ourselves this question. Here's another thought I had. The truth is, comfort actually keeps us from God's promises. When you're so comfortable, you're actually the furthest away, perhaps, from experiencing God's blessing on your life. When you've just retreated so much into your comfort zone. Which is ironic, isn't it? Because our world today actually uses comfort as a gauge to know how blessed they are. You know, people say like, wow, man, so-and-so is just so blessed. You see the house that they own, or you see the car that they drive, they must be really, really blessed. Or, oh, all their kids are really healthy, they must be blessed. Or they're able to have kids, and so they must be really blessed. Or people will say, you know, they have great looks or great talent or a great gift. They're just so blessed. And so here's what we do when we say that and when we believe it. We're linking a blessed life with a comfortable life. And Jesus says that's not the gauge. That's not the gauge for how you know whether or not you're blessed. There's a different gauge. In fact, you can get so comfortable that it can be at your own detriment. You can get so comfortable that it actually backfires on you, because if you play it so safe, you actually forfeit the blessings of God. That's what it says. Blessed are those who are persecuted. Well, if you're not blessed, if you're not persecuted, then you're not blessed in the sense that Jesus is saying that you're blessed in this passage. You actually forfeit the blessing of God the more you play it safe. This is why one of our core values over here, one of our DNA in that banner, it says playing it safe is risky. Playing it safe is actually risky because we forfeit what God wants to do in and through us. Which is why Jesus says, blessed are the persecuted for righteousness' sakes, for theirs is the kingdom of what? Heaven. I love how he says heaven. Notice he doesn't say, when you are faithful through the fire, and when you endure hardship, and when you endure ridicule and being mocked, and all those things that Jesus is talking about. He doesn't say, at the end of the day, it'll work out well for you. He doesn't say, when you endure persecution, eventually the new car is coming your way, or eventually the prayer is getting answered, or eventually you're going to experience the blessing of earth. He says your blessing is not of earth, it's in the world to come. It's the kingdom of what? Heaven. And you know what occurred to me this week when I was studying this? Don't you want the kingdom of heaven blessing over the kingdom of earth? I mean, when you compare the two and you start looking at what the world has to offer and all the world riches are and the rewards of the world, you don't want that compared to the kingdom of heaven. Are you kidding me? That's what you want to live for. So you step out of your comfort zone and you show some courage. And because that reward is so great, you don't waver.